I just thought it would be interesting to briefly touch upon the Caroline Wozniacki and Rory McIlroy relationship because I think it typifies why you are a celebrity, and if you don't want to be hounded and don't want all of the trappings of the media bombarding you and coming down upon you, then yeah, I mean, you would be best advised to stay away from another famous spouse. I understand you can't really affect love, but it certainly was an epic blow up between the two of them. And they're both at the top of their sports. You know, it was like Michael Jackson dating Lisa Marie Presley. It was just the people that are so visible at the top of the sporting world, and for everything to fall apart. I understand that they're married now and things are considerably changed. It's more of a lingering issue for Wozniacki, of course, because I guess McIlroy hasn't been fielding as many questions, and they're given more discretion. I understand at the tennis briefings, but here's how it started.
And life is good for both of you guys, I guess, right now. I mean, everything's perfect right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it could be much better. I'm enjoying myself on and off the golf course, which is the main thing, and I think we're very happy.
I agree.
And it was sweet, and it was great, and I think that what you saw quickly with Rory, getting married after that incident where they broke it off, and even though the invitations were sent out, it was still a reflection of how he just wanted the scrutiny to end over his relationships and love life. And so it was painful to see, but I liked how the European tour worked to frame it in a way that put out his personality as self-effacing in light of what is a very uncomfortable situation.
You're getting married. I've got you a wedding present, but you should probably open it now.
Thanks, Billy. I think. Box of socks. What's all this about?
Just in case you get cold feet again.
Yeah, I think that the European tour has been doing a really good job on social media and just keeping the public involved over across the pond, and to see Rory engaged in that way was I think good at dispelling a lot of the awkwardness, and this did a million views, and the comments were mostly, why don't we have someone from the States on the PGA Tour do that to Tiger? And I don't I don't know quite how that would be received, but it was really interesting to see how the different camps frame the issue. I mean, here he's joking about it, and then from Caroline Wozniacki, we're getting a much different story.
Given you're a public figure, how difficult have you found it to avoid dealing publicly with a very private situation?
It was very hard because, he made it very public from the start. He put out a press release and all of that, so I didn't have a choice. It was kind of, it just got put in my face. But, right now, I'm in such a great place. I'm so happy. I'm in a better place than I've been in a very long time, and I have good things going on.
I understand from Doc.
So, I mean, she, in essence, is reframing the narrative, whereas, through McIlroy's people, he was able to reframe it early on. And it's sad to see that Caroline Wozniak, even though, yeah, she's already married and everything, but the narrative lingers. And in doing some of this research, you see that she occupies a Rory-free zone when it comes to questioning, because local media, they want to make that the focus because that does generate interest, and the keywords are coming in for that reason. So if they push out content that's specific to sound bites about Rory, then that will get clicked. But she definitely has to push harder against the Rory history.
Talking to people close to you, like wedding invitations had been sent out already. You were with them, that morning, and then Later in the day, it happened on like a 10-minute call, the first 5 minutes of which you thought was a joke when he's saying he wants to break it off. How surprised were you by how it all ended?
Oh, I was shocked. I thought at least, I would get a face-to-face or something, but there was nothing, it was just phone call, and I did not hear from him again,
I think that it doesn't really matter whether our athletes are, good people. I think we've fairly well determined that certain athletes that we like are decidedly not good people. And really, it comes down to their performance. Are they able to achieve on the biggest stage and do well under, considerable pressure? And I think the LPGA has done an interesting job of making the personalities the focal point. And on the PGA Tour, comparatively, they keep more the focus, I think, on the performance and the equipment, and making it less of an engaging player field that interact with the population that are watching them as sports fans. But I do see with the advent of podcast, um, that they're definitely getting more engaged, and a lot of golfers are pushing their brand out there and going on even podcasts that have a very low listenership. Specifically, Brooks Koepka is going on a lot of them and building a fan base, from the ground up. Whereas Tiger has a wholesale fan base that really eclipses the sport. Brooks Koepka and a number of other ones, Bubba Watson, are going out there just like an LPGA player will. I mean, this week I saw on Holy Moly, the miniature golf show, they had Michelle Wee. So they're tapping into all avenues to extend themselves and to see the that golfers are people too, and that their job as entertainers is to engage us. You have a public that feels like they want to engage them on a very personal level, and sometimes that does bleed over into being cringeworthy, as the case may be when it comes to the dissolution of relationships. But sad to see Rory kind of having a poor season, and Wozniacki's doing well. But obviously, wish the best for them both, and hopefully Rory can find some form here in the next few months of 2019.